Terry Miller here with Terry's Tidbits, and I want to start this video with a thank you for all of my subscribers. This week we hit the 1,000 subscribers mark. A little over a year ago we didn't even exist, and so I'm so thankful for those of you who have subscribed. If you have not subscribed, I hope that you will. Click on that button, subscribe, like the videos. That is an easy way for you to say, this is the content that I like, and this is what I want to see coming from the channel. So thank you first for those. Second, the tip I'm going to share with you today is one of my very favorite, and it's one that I use with almost all of my clients when I implement. They love this tip, and it's simply a modification to the log a call screen to add the ability to do a follow-up task at the same time while we're logging the call. So what would normally take multiple steps, we can now do with a single step with this simple little trick for logging a call. As we get started on this tip, I want to let you know that the step-by-step guide to build this functionality is on the blog post. You'll see the reference down below. I'm going to give you a demonstration of what it looks like once you have got it completely built, and the blog post will show you how to do it. I'm also going to run through it probably a little bit fast, just to give you the flavor. The blog post is where you're going to want to go to actually learn how to do it. So let's take a quick look at what the functionality is. I'm going to jump into an opportunity on the screen. You'll see that. And we've got our log a call activity right here in the middle of the screen. I'm going to click into this, and the first thing you'll notice when the fields pop up are there are a lot of fields that we have removed off of the form. And the reason for that is because we already know some of the information. I know who you are, so I don't have to ask the assigned to, it's you. I know the opportunity because I'm already on the opportunity record, so I don't need to ask that either. So I simply clear out some of that noise. This makes your form much more concise to what you need to capture. It also makes your mobile users much happier because they don't have a lot of fields that they don't need to deal with in their way. So let's first take a quick scan through this thing, and we're going to add our name. I'm going to use Michelle as my contact. You can put the subject in. As we're having our conversation on the phone, we might be typing in information here. And then here are those two additional fields that we are talking about today, and that's simply a follow-up date. I'm going to set this to the 12th, and then the subject, I'm going to just say it is regarding contracts. Now, obviously, in a real use scenario, you'd have a whole lot more information than what I just put in, but what I want you to know here, and what's really helpful with this, is that by putting that follow-up date on this form, on this action, it does two things for us. It first reminds us to ask for a follow-up. We're on an opportunity record here, and if we forget about doing a follow-up, it's really easy for that opportunity to maybe kind of fall by the wayside, and we don't want that to happen. So it's a nice reminder for us as we are working on our opportunity to ask, what do we do for our follow-up, and plug that information in. The second thing it does is what I mentioned in our opening, and it saves us multiple clicks, because typically I would have to log this call, then go to new task, and then enter my follow-up information. Here I can do it now all in a single form. So I'm going to save this. We'll see what the magic does, and look at what happens down here in our activity history section, our timeline. We have our current call, the one that we just hung up, is listed down here in the history section, and then we have our follow-up call listed here as well. All right, so let's jump over to setup and take a quick look at how we build this. First thing we want to do is go to the Object Manager tab, and we're going to go to the Activity Object to Fields and Relationships. in here we need to create two fields. The follow-up date, simply a date field, and then our follow-up subject, which we've got defined as a text 80. You can make that as big as a text 255. So whatever kind of is that magic number for you, I kind of settled for something in the middle there for the subject, follow-up subject. Once those are created, the next step that you're going to do is jump over to flow. And I hear you. Flow can still be a little intimidating for some of you. And I would just encourage you, check the blog post. I walk you through step by step so you won't miss a thing. If you can follow a recipe, you can follow it on the blog post and build this out. So let's take a look at our flow. This is going to be a record trigger flow, and it's an after record trigger flow. So we're going to get into here. We'll look at that start element. Here you can see record trigger flow. It's when the record is created, and it's on the after, as I mentioned. We are running this on the task object, and I've got two conditions applied. So let's take a quick look at those two conditions. I want this flow to only run when I have both a follow-up date and a follow-up subject. If I don't have both, I can't create this future task. So I need to have both of those values. So those are your conditions that need to be plugged in. And then we're going to take a quick look at the create element, which is what we're using to create that follow-up task. So we've got our name up here. We're creating a single record. We're also going to define it using separate resources and literal values. Mentioned again, it is the task object, and we've got a list of all of the fields and then a list of all their values. Now the activity date, we're setting that obviously to that future follow-up date. So that's simply $record, our friend, $record, follow-up date. And then everything else is pretty much taking the data from our original call and just replicating it in here with just a couple exceptions. And that's that follow-up date. Our status we're setting to not started because we haven't had this, this follow-up activity hasn't occurred yet. And then the subject right here, we have our subject, and that's also obviously the new subject that we're placing in. Everything else comes straight across from that original log a call record. The second element is to go back to our original call record, our log a call record that just got entered, and we want to take the follow-up date and that follow-up subject. We want to clear those out. So that is what this one is doing. We are specifying conditions to identify records and set the fields individually. It is the task object, and we are identifying the original log a call record by simply saying ID equals $record activity ID. Follow-up date, we're just leaving that field empty on the value side. So follow-up date, nothing. Just leave it blank, skip right over that field. And then our subject we set to an empty string, which will wipe that out. Okay, so that's really the magic portion of it. And if any piece of this is a little difficult, it's probably that. And you can see that that's not really a very difficult flow. So you can do it. Just follow along on the blog post. You'll be able to get through this particular piece without any problem at all. You'll save your flow. You'll activate it as you get it wrapped up. I will say one thing here that is a little different than this particular diagram. If you already have a after record trigger flow on your task, what I would recommend you do is add another decision. So instead of having our decision here, our record conditions for the follow-up date and the subject having to have values, what I would recommend you do is just add that as a decision element inside your existing task record trigger flow. So keep that in mind if that is your scenario. You'll want to just combine this same logic into an existing flow. Our next step is going to be to create the action. That action is a custom action. It lives on the opportunity object. So let's go to go to our object manager, and let's find the opportunity object, and here it is. And button links and actions is where this is going to reside. And you'll see that I've got a log a call action already built here. You're going to come up and do a new action and select log a call as your option when you come into your opening screen on that new log a call. I'm going to jump in to the layout. And again, you'll notice that I keep this super, super simple. I really like the idea of customizing my actions. Salesforce by default uses a lot of those global actions that are created, and they're nice because you can build it once and use it in a lot of different places. What I don't like about it is that they're generic. So let's say I'm building this same concept on the contact object. Well, if I'm on a contact object, I already know the person's name too, so I don't need to ask the person's name. I can take this field off if I'm building this on a contact record. But in this case, we're on the opportunity. I need to know the name. I need the subject, comments, follow-up date, and the follow-up subject. Everything else I pull off of the action. So you'll save that. And then you're going to have this section called predefined field values. And this is where we're going to populate all the information we already know. So we're going to start off with our activity date. Our activity date is going to be set to today. So keep in mind, this is the log a call action. This is the one where we just got off the phone. We hung up. We need to log that call. We just hung up the phone, so it just occurred. So our activity date is obviously today. If it's us doing it, then the assigned to is us, and that's what the $user.id represents. That is us, the current user. We're setting priority to normal, status to complete. Again, this is the current call. We just hung up. It's done. The task subject type. That field might be a little bit new to you, and all that one is, that is that little icon that you see right here that turns this in so you could see that it was a phone call. So it's nice to set that. And so that's what you see here is that task subject. Type is also a call. And then what are related to is the opportunity record that we are currently on. Super simple, easy to understand, hopefully, how that is structured. Now that we have our action created, it's fully defined. All we need to do is jump over to our page layout, and we need to add our new action to the page layout. So we called it a log a call, just like Salesforce calls theirs, log a call. Now that piece might get a little confusing, and you'll see here when I jump into the mobile and lightning actions, you'll notice that we have now multiple log a call actions here. And you might be asking, so how, Terry, do I know the difference between these two? Well, let me show you. If you hover over the action, it's going to give you a name field. It's the second one there on that list. You see the label and then a name, and it's prefaced with opportunity dot log a call. Because it's prefaced with opportunity, that means that this action was created specifically for the opportunity object. It's the one we just built. This second one on the list doesn't have that preface on it. It's just simply log a call. That's the global action Salesforce created for you. So we need to take our custom log a call and simply click on it and drag it down here to the Salesforce Mobile and Lightning Experience action section. So I've got mine already down here. When I do that, I need to then grab the Salesforce version of it that's on this in this section and pull it up off of the form. So I get my custom one. Salesforce's goes back into the bucket for whenever we might want it later. Simply save then your page layout, jump over to an opportunity record, refresh the page if you need to, and try it out. see if it doesn't make you an admin hero with the folks in your office. I'm pretty sure they will like this. You might need to do a little bit of adjustments based on your specific use case and need, but that is fundamentally the way this works. I hope that you enjoy that. I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you for those of you who are subscribers. Hitting that 1,000 user mark, that was so fantastic. That was so exciting for me to get to that level. And I am so grateful for those of you who follow me and engage with me. If you have questions on this topic or other topics, feel free to write those down in the chat. I will do my best to answer those. Pretty close to, I think, answering almost everything that comes in. Happy to help you guys out however I can be of service to you. So thanks again for watching. Hope you liked this little quick tip.